Alright guys, Rough Life here with another installment of the Legends series. And while my crazy loan mod is eating away this ridiculous amount of money that came after upgrading and leveling up and becoming filthy rich, which I guess would be fun in real life, but as a game it kind of just made it boring. Anyhow, so I've got this mod eating away my money, and meanwhile I thought I could take a shot at these doubles and look at what would you do with those. So there's some discussions on Steam. There's a few videos out there showing impressive skills when it comes to backing them up. And while this video isn't really going to be, I have to disappoint you maybe, I'm not going to primarily show off my skills. That's not my purpose. I'd just like to discuss a little bit kind of what are the principles and how would you, in real life back them up. Well, one thing is that you would never back these things up on a trafficated road. You just wouldn't, even if you have the skills for it. Without a helper behind the truck, you're legally not allowed to do it. So that just wouldn't happen. Also, you would, as a kind of rule of thumb, you'd avoid doing it. You just try not to. Then finally, there are some situations where you have to. That is not when you back it up to a ramp, because you would detach the backmost trailer from the main trailer before loading up. They have to be loaded up separately, so you would detach them somewhere else and where it's easy access, and then put them together after you're done loading them up. But one place where you might actually in real life have to, or I mean not just might, but where this happens every day, is when you load them onto boats. So for this purpose we're now in Kristiansand, and the boat is over there, and just for the sake of this video we're pretending that this is one of those boats where you have to back it up. The Kristiansand ferry, which is a color line, you can just drive straight onto it, but there are some cheaper ones in the neighborhood where there's only one entrance on the ferry, so then you actually have to back it up going in, and you could drive it going out. In real life you wouldn't get to do that yourself. There's people who work at the ferry who do that for you. They do this every day, and they do it much faster than you ever would. Yeah, so for this video I'm that guy. I'm that guy who takes this trailer, who's been sleeping here waiting for the ferry to come in, and I'm gonna back it up. Again, there's just a level of sanity involved in real life. Impressive as it would be, and challenging and fun as it might be, I'm not going to back it up from here onto the boat. That would be fun to see, it would be fun to do, it would be fun to master, but sorry guys, showing off isn't my thing, so I'm not going to do that. This truck turns well, so what we would do is basically just turn here, and as you can see both trailers follow nicely, and we'll just drive to the boat. It's much faster this way. Coming onto the boat, one of the tricks that I was taught by a friendly soul, they are out there when it comes to backing up trailers with trucks. There's a lot of guys, real well, who'll just prank you and harass and not necessarily be helpful. It is actually kind of a rough environment, but there's the occasional friendly soul too. So what we want to do is to kind of line it up as straight as possible with the bolt. Let's see if I got that line right now. I don't think that's too bad. So if I can, there you go, there's the line on the road too. Continue just a little bit, we can see the trailer in the mirror straightening up. Here we go. Alright, so principle is I'm seeing a little bit more of the backmost trailer than I'd like to see, so I'm gonna kind of turn towards it. As you can see, I'm kind of turning the main truck towards that backmost trailer, towards the side that I'm going to see less of it. So you can see it's kind of already turning, and I want it to turn a little bit more. Let's see. Let's go back inside, and now it's coming up in the mirror, and I'm seeing a little bit too much of it, so I'm turning towards it. I guess that's what some people think of as kind of where you do, what was it, invert or something. So turning towards it makes it turn away from you. Now it turns away from me again. I'm a little bit oversteering now to show it. Let's see. If I do less of that, then we have more control over it. I want it to go a little bit more, because I think there's a barrier over there. Yep, there is. So I'm going to go a little bit more straight. We have to kind of angle around that to get to the spot we want. So, wanting to see less of that trailer, wanting to turn away from me, I have to turn towards it. And we're going into our turn, and I'm following it, and I'm trying not to correct too much because I want it to go that way. I don't want it to go much back. A little bit though, so that we don't end up with too much. This is that kind of snake motion that I was talking about. That was too much, so let's get it back in motion, in the curve. There we go. I should see it now. I'm seeing it. Okay, I want to correct a little more. That was 17 million euros going out of my account. I guess it would be fun with that much money in real life, but in the game I kind of just got bored with it. Alright, so it's coming along nicely. It's doing pretty much what we want it to do. Now we're straightening up, not too much. Let's see. I want it to still go that way. It's now turning the wrong way. It's turning too much away from us, so I have to let's turn off the steering-based camera. Get less dizzy that way. Just straighten up a little bit to get it where we want it. And I want it to go even further now towards, because we're heading towards that ferry trigger. And now to make it go more towards me, I have to turn away from it, right? Now I can't see it, so I'll use the mirrors. If I'm totally confused as to where it is, I'll just have to step outside the truck. But that worked. We got it maybe, yeah, a little too much even. So I'll just drive a little forward until I'm happy with the angle. There we go. And then I'll follow that angle with the next trailer. The other way to look at it is as that kind of the first trailer is the steering wheel of the second trailer. And that, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it's kind of what it is. That's kind of the physics of it. I don't want it to go too much now. This is a good angle. We're coming into it. Maybe a little bit too much. Let's see. There. Following it with the next trailer, and as we're continuing this, it should now straighten up. I'm seeing too much of it on the left, so I'll turn towards the left. I want it to angle a little bit more towards the middle of the boat. It should do that now. That was too much. So we'll straighten up just a little bit. There's got to be guys sitting at the dock here laughing at me, because I'm not half as expert at this as I should be. But it's the principles, it's the right principles. Then it's just a matter of practicing it. Going back and forth a little bit though, as I'm doing, is not something to be ashamed of. Because you do have to kind of get your trailer in the right position before you can angle it, and sometimes you just have to a little bit go back and forth to get that right. Like now the backmost trailer is in position and I'm working that with the first trailer. See, it's straightening up nicely. I've come a little too far, so I just have to go a little bit forward. There, straighten it up. And I think I'm gonna see too much of it here, but look at where we are, you know? Now we are in a different spot than we were, and because of these barriers, there is no way I could have been here earlier. So I'll drive a little forward, not too much, and then back up again. I'm seeing too much of it in the left mirror, so I'm turning towards the left mirror. Straightens up. And here we go. And it's coming in nicely. And with just a little tweaking here now, we're getting towards where we want to go. So, of course, there's got to be guys out there. Whoopsie. That's the other thing, is that there's guys working together with you in real life, so that kind of stuff wouldn't happen. Okay. Let's see, a little bit, just small movements now. Just small movements. A little bigger when needed. So, anyhow, main principle is there. You turn towards the side that where you wanna see less of the trailer, and then by kind of going back and forth between the mirrors, as in what I call snake motion, you can get it pretty much where you want it to go. And just practice this and you'll have it down like a charm and beat me at my skills, because when I'm driving I basically just try to avoid it, which is what I would do in real life too. It's fun to practice, it's a good skill to have. On a real ferry you would never be allowed to do this yourself, but have fun. This should help you. Take care and check back for more stuff. Subscribe if you're interested in Rough Life's comments on the European Truck Simulator from a former real-life trucker's perspective. Take care. Bye-bye.